Hello.
And welcome to Film.
Good afternoon.
It's episode 545. No, it's not. It's 546. We've already recorded the first 10 minutes, and then I stopped. I didn't press record. Mark's hosting, but I'm doing this bit because I don't want to waste their time, Mark and Becky's time. I'll waste your time, listener. You fucking listen to me. What are we doing this week? We're doing Longlegs. We're doing In a Violent Nature. It's a very, very Becky show, and we're gonna say that you need to listen to our friends' podcasts, and then we're going to talk about trailers. So we were in the middle of talking We Live in Time, which disappointingly is not a sequel to In Time, and then we started talking about how I wanted to watch Runner again. Mark, go.
Yeah, it's about 84 minutes long, and I remember actually really quite enjoying it. I think it was one of those weird ones, Runner, where for some reason both me and you watched it the same morning.
Really?
Yeah, because I think we both happened to have it the same morning off, and you sort of messaged and said that you were about 20 minutes into Runner, and it wasn't shit. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm sticking that on then.
I seem to remember that being perfectly serviceable. Was it Gavin O'Connor?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, he's had an interesting career. Yeah. Accountant 2, coming to Prime. But yeah, We Live in Time. Look, I would very much like to see Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh have sex, and I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see stuff leading up to it, and so I'm disappointed, and it will be the worst film of the year.
Apparently there is quite a lot of nudity in it, so I think you
Brilliant.
might
I'd take
that
back. Yeah, let's get some Garfield schlong in there as well.
I agree, yeah. Let's get Garfield's bits in it.
Yeah, and Florence's Pugh's.
And Florence's Pugh's, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think this looks like it's both going to be fun enough to make the not fun bits kind of like balanced.
Oh, I don't know though. She fucking dies of cancer at the end.
I don't think she does.
Based on what?
I don't know.
Isn't it the story of their relationship up to and past the point?
You said it was something like you'd read it was basically the...
Yeah, the bit of Up that's interesting that you don't see, Ellie and the crotchety man's relationship before she dies.
Alright, malconfession. Not actually seen Up.
You have.
No, I haven't.
With the floaty boat house balloon man.
Not seen it.
You have.
I haven't.
Floaty house... God, say that again, Becky. That was like ASMR.
Floaty house balloon man.
Floaty house balloon man.
Yeah.
God, that's a pleasure to say and listen to.
Yeah, no.
Floaty house balloon man.
Carl! He's called Carl.
I don't know. Why are you pointing
No, he's not. He's called Floaty House Balloon Man.
Oh, well, yeah, fair.
I've not seen Up.
You have!
I haven't.
I swear you have.
I haven't.
Got the dog that says squirrel.
Definitely not seen this. I've seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Do you know what I do get muddled up between, though, quite often? Up and Monster House.
Yeah, they're different things.
They are different things, but they've both got a crotchety house man.
Fair play.
But I do get muddled up. I'm like, so he attaches balloons to his house. So what? So, hang on then. So when does the house try to eat everyone? No, that's a different film. Damn it, Rebecca.
Where's Steve Buscemi when you need him?
Sorry.
Oh, that's right, because his wife's the house.
Yeah.
But she's like evil.
Yeah. What a piece of
And
shit.
he's basically trying to protect people from his wife.
Yeah.
She's an eater, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she continues that energy into the afterlife.
Yeah. Quite a dark story.
It's fucking great.
Weird fucking story in it. Yeah.
When you break it down, it is, yeah. What else have we got?
I'll say there's a very short, like 40-second long thing about Alien Romulus in IMAX. Apparently, there's about an hour of IMAX footage. I might have said that last week. Ooh. I'm very excited for Alien Romulus. I'm very excited.
Yeah. An hour of IMAX for Alien. I've got a sneaking suspicion that film might end up being a fucking banger. Mm-hmm. Like, just a really stripped back and just tight fucking horror movie.
I am heartened by the fact that it's 2 hours long. Yeah, but I mean, Alien films do tend to be long. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, 2 hours. I'd be worried if it was over 2 hours, but it's 119 minutes. I can take that.
It's the creeping dread of it all, you know. Like, I'm hoping it's just going to be atmospheric as fuck before the shit goes down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also an excuse to rewatch all the Alien films. So.
Yay!
Yeah. What else have we got?
Ooh.
Sorry, go
Go on.
The Substance.
No. Yeah, I was about to say that myself.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer is really fucking going for it. Of this is amazing. There's that trailer has some hubris going on there. It's got to live up to that now.
I don't know what the connective tissue is, but I watched this trailer and then immediately went, what was that art movie that Jake Gyllenhaal was in?
Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got a similar kind of
I think it's the
aesthetic.
the brightness of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Velvet Buzzsaw. That's a film I should rewatch.
Yeah, I've been hovering over that quite recently, quite a lot. I'm up for The Substance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to how uncommercial it's gonna be because Mubi bought it.
Yeah,
Which
I'm looking forward to it having a message, but completely just not managing to get it across, but still being quite fun.
yeah, I want that film to punch me in the face, and I think it's gonna punch me in the face, so that's fine.
Yeah. I'm very down for that.
I didn't see this trailer, but I don't suppose you guys did. The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. Maybe
No.
the best title for a film of all time.
I saw it and then went, I'm alright actually.
Yeah. I don't know. Even that, yeah.
I thought, I'm not going to watch that movie, so why am I going to watch the trailer?
Anora.
Yeah, very much up for this.
Yeah, you can watch
Looks
that on
great.
your own, I think.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, just, no.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think this looks like it could be. I am up for just Mickey Madison just basically just fighting everyone, and just not being afraid of anything.
It's fair. I think my mind might change the closer we get. I hated Red Rocket. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
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 Hated it. And it's the same people in it.
I quite like. I don't like Sean Barker's drama, but I quite like his comedy elements of his films. And this one looks like it's going to be a little bit more skewed towards the comedy.
Yeah.
Not like laugh out loud comedy, but the ridiculousness of things.
She's one of the crazies in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, isn't she?
Yes, she's one of the crazies that got her face burnt off in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then also in Scream as well. Yeah. I like her energy.
I don't think that'll happen in this film.
Can you imagine if it did? Can you imagine if it was just like a weird thing she had in all of her contracts?
I kind of need her to do another one. It's like I need Kenneth Branagh to do a third and final film where he plays a Russian billionaire trying to blow up the world, and because he's got terminal illness and he's pissed off about it.
Yeah. It does feel like we need another one just to complete the set.
Yeah. We got Tenet.
Yep.
We got Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit.
Yeah,
we need a third.
We need a third. We need a third, Kenny. Make it happen. And Mickey, if you need to have your face burnt off in another movie.
Yeah. I will say, as much as I am looking forward to Deadpool and Wolverine, I need it to really, really chill out on the marketing. There was a spot that was put up yesterday where it is just an ad for Heinz ketchup and mustard.
Yeah,
but as a Deadpool and Wolverine spot, and just no.
It is a little bit like that has to come out that has to come out now. Otherwise, people are going to start getting a little bit kind of going, I'm just a bit bored of seeing this now.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's only a week away.
That's it. I think if there was another couple of weeks, I'd be a little bit like... I mean, even like the cinemas seem to be getting a little bit bored of showing the trailers. Yeah, it just needs to come out. But almost in the same way as like I feel like Trap needs to sign up just come out now because the more I'm seeing the trailer, I'm like I've got another like month of seeing this trailer.
Yeah, they brought it forward a week in the US, but I don't think they've done that here. It comes out in 2 weeks over there, and it's 3 weeks here.
3 weeks
Trap
here.
and Borderlands. What a fucking double bill that is that week.
The wild thing there is Trap seems to be everywhere, and Borderlands just doesn't seem to exist anymore, and it's out soon.
No. That thing's a fart in the wind at this point.
Yeah, which just suggests that it's shit.
Yeah. I mean, shit, man. They were filming it during COVID. Like, it's just been sat there for so long.
Yeah, it's weird that. Also, as well, that film is only just 100 minutes long.
Yeah, and then it's going to be like 10 minutes of credits as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm not complaining, but also that kind of suggests when it maybe costs that much and has that big a cast for it to be less than 110 minutes is a little bit like, ooh, something's gone wrong there.
Yeah.
The Deliverance.
I didn't see this. This is Tyler Perry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Tyler Perry one that I think this is already on Netflix in the US.
Right.
Sorry,
that was really loud.
And it's got a 0 Rotten Tomatoes rating at the moment.
Oh, really?
Apparently it is awful. And it looks awful.
Bad.
Yeah. Glenn Close is in it for some reason.
I think you could say that about anything she's in.
It's a fair point, yes. What else have we got? Is it just the biggie we've got left?
What's the biggie?
I think so.
I haven't watched that.
Captain America: Brave New World.
A Different Man.
What? Oh yeah, Different Man. The Sebastian Stan is handsome film.
You could say that about anything he's in.
Yeah. I'm just no. I don't know whether I can be bothered with this.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be quite interesting as like a psychological study. He's got some kind of condition. He has it fixed, and then he struggles to know who he is without it. I think that sounds like quite an interesting concept.
Just sounds a bit like it's been done quite a lot.
Fine.
It sounds a bit like they're going to criticise Sebastian Stan for being handsome. And it's a bit like, but once the camera stopped running with that, he's got to walk out and go, "Wait, am I a piece of shit for being handsome?"
Aww. Lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I think that looks quite good.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
It's got Sebastian Stan in. You love him.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to see him just get criticised for the fact, or feel bad for the fact that he's handsome.
Okay.
You go out there, Sebastian Stan. You go out there and fucking continue flirting with Sharon Stone. You be handsome.
You be handsome.
Yeah. Yeah, so just like, right. So this is the one, the Captain America Brave New World, that people kept on saying something about, that I kept on going, what? What are people going on about? So,
What?
people kept on going about it being the first look at Red Hulk, and me going, what? What do you mean Red Hulk? What are they on about? Who's Red Hulk? Did I miss something? And so I watched it a few times and just didn't know what they're on about. And I still don't know what they're on about. And I'm now at the point where I'm like, I don't know whether I can be bothered to know what they're on about.
At the end,
Is
like
it?
the last shot of the trailer is a big red thing.
Is that? Do you know what? I don't know how I haven't noticed that. I've watched it like 3 times.
Yeah, and apparently it's Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford turns into a big red Hulk
Yeah.
in this.
Is that something from one of the TV shows?
Sure.
Ah.
No, I don't think it is. No, I think it's a thing from the comics.
I mean, I like the look of Brave New World. I think part of the Brave New World thing is thinking that Anthony Mackie can lead a film on his own. That's very brave. But the film actually looks like it's still managing to be fun, but also be a little bit more like serious, but not like
Winter Soldier vibes.
yeah. There's bits of it for like a middle chunk of that trailer where you're going, oh, hang on a minute, yeah, this is a Marvel movie. It isn't. It's about like superheroes and bits like that. It's not just an espionage movie, and I'm kind of down with that.
Yeah.
And then he flaps his fucking wings out again, and you go, oh yeah, that guy.
I don't know with it. I feel like I'm too far behind, and I'm not going to watch that one TV show, so I'm just probably out on this one.
This is the first Marvel movie for a long time where I've looked at it and thought that looks like a bit of a Mojo back kind of vibe.
I know, but you've got so much backfilling to do to get to the point where you can watch it. That's my issue.
We haven't really talked about Marvel in a while on the show, and I feel like we used to talk about them pretty much every week. And you know, obviously that's because there just hasn't been any content in a while. And I think it's really interesting that they're now very much separating Marvel Studios and Marvel Television. I think they have learnt, and there is going to be way less homework going forward.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, just do the TV series and then have some fucking, like, have them pop up in Avengers 5. And the people who know, the people who don't, and that's fine.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like, it's now getting to the point of where, because there's so many like fake posters that go around for stuff now, that I saw I saw a poster for something called Agatha.
That's real.
And I don't know if that's real or not.
Yeah, Agatha all along, yeah. And that's the thing, they did the trailer for that last week, and I liked Catherine Hahn in WandaVision. This is the most inexplicably why fucking thing.
So is that a real thing then? That wasn't a fake poster I saw?
No, that's
No,
real.
Right.
No, it's a real thing.
Right. So, and
But
she was one of the people in WandaVision.
Yeah.
She was the bad witch.
She was the one who was basically making all the Wanda and Vision trapped in their little family sitcom bubble thing. She was the one doing that.
Right. Cool.
So, yeah, there you go. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, if they go back to films, and it's just like, just do 2 or 3 a year. Just don't fucking overload it. And then, you know...
Bounce your years. Do 2 1 year, 3 the next year. 2 1 year, 3 the next year. And bounce your years like that. And then the years that you do 2, you drop a Star Wars movie. And then you do 3 the Marvel the next year, then 2 in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, but I think they know now, after Endgame, they are not going to be at the centre of pop culture again. Endgame was it. Endgame felt like the end of a moment, especially when, like, the next year it was COVID. You know.
Yeah, it's, you know, I think COVID it gave them a bit of time to reassess, but then it gave them too much time to get it all fucking wrong.
Yeah, they reassessed wrong.
Yeah.
But, look, Brave New World, February.
Yeah, February 14th.
I'll take a Marvel film in February.
It seems like now people have looked at that February 14th post Deadpool, like the first Deadpool, and it's kind of become a little bit of a, that's where we're going to drop our first money maker of the year. And it's kind of become a little bit of a sweet spot, and it literally is like it's like Hollywood went, hang on a minute, people go to the movies on dates, don't they? Let's drop. We don't just drop a date movie, let's just drop a movie and they'll fucking go and see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, actually. You know,
Yeah, I mean, apparently production was absolute hell. There's been reshoots all over the place. So, we'll see. It's a good trailer, though. It is a good, like, that kind of like flashing black and white shit.
Yeah.
You know, somebody put some thought behind that trailer. You can't always say that.
No, yeah, that's it. Somebody's gone for it. They've like you say, there's a bit of thought behind it, and it does seem a little bit. There's an element of we've got a little bit of control back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna wee and drink before we kick off. If that's
Before we kick off the first one, yes, no problem.
Nice one. Back in a bit. And I'm back.
Right. Let's go. So, Longlegs is written and directed by Osgood Perkins and stars Micah Monroe, Nicolas Cage, Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt turns up as well. And this is what IMDb says it's about. This is a good one. We had a good one in a while, I don't think.
Okay.
In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree.
Really?
That's not what this movie's about. At all. Right. I'm gonna go to you first in this one, Bex. What did you think to Longlegs?
Okay, so
You were pumped for this, weren't you?
I was pumped for this. I enjoyed this movie. So full disclosure, I know you're gonna sort of do your bit in a bit, but I did enjoy this movie. I would have enjoyed the movie that the IMDb description is offering more. I think the trailer makes out that it's going to be a bit of a kind of serial killer in the vein of kind of Seven and Silence of the Lambs and that kind of vibe. The trailer very much sets it up in that way, and it's not that at all. It's I could have done with it not being supernatural and satanic, and it just being an actual like straight up serial killer movie. But I don't know. The more that I think on it, the less positive I am on it. Nick Cage was not so much creepy and scary as just creepy because it was weird. If that makes sense, it was just it was unsettling because it was like an odd performance rather than it was an actually creepy performance. Micah Monroe is. You could have literally replaced her with one of those dolls he makes and you wouldn't have fucking noticed any difference. She's just offering nothing up at all. And I'd like her to be better than she is. And I think you kind of said like when she was younger, that kind of low energy vibe works better for her. Now she's getting older and she's still not offering anything more. It's like... Come on, babe, give us something. Yeah. Apart from bad hair and increasingly bad eyebrows. And really, really unflattering outfits. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know why she's clearly got the costuming people to go, I don't want my beautiful good looks to distract from the story. There is no story. Maybe give us some distracting good looks. It's a difficult one. I think it's part of a larger conversation because I know obviously I wasn't on last week, but I had the same complaint about Maxine as I do about this, which is that they kind of reach for something and then don't deliver. Just by script writing and screenplay writing seems to have just become a lost art, I think. Everything's just very all surface. Nothing goes very deep. There's no meat with these stories to get your teeth into. They just bibble along and then end. And that like I said to you about Maxine at the time, my issue is it's going for like there's this Richard Ramirez subplot that's just it's there. It's never really explored. There's this cult shit. It's just there. It's never explored. It's a series of things that happen and then the film ends. And that's kind of how I feel about Longlegs as well.
Ian, what did you think to Longlegs?
And that's me. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Though, it's like I feel like I'm like that on the podcast relatively often when I'm really, really, really up for something, and I thought it was fine, and then but my tone is like, and I'm kind of there on Longlegs, to be honest, as well. Like, I was pretty disappointed. In it. But then again, it's like I'm not massive on Osgood Perkins anyway. But it was just like the marketing has been so fucking good for this film. And you know, it was Neon's like opening record in the US. I mean, it did this film did $22 million at the US over the weekend.
Our screening, our 12:50 on a Tuesday screening, was pretty busy.
Yeah. You know, and that is absolutely credit to the marketing and the fact that they purposely don't reveal Nicolas Cage's appearance. Like, I don't know if you guys saw stupid in hindsight, stupid fucking thing where they say they attached a heart rate monitor to Micah Monroe and then like did the heartbeat and she saw Cage for the first time. Right, fuck off. No, you didn't.
I said this to Bex. I was like, hang on a minute, why did they attach a heart rate monitor to her? That's not a normal thing to do.
No, and like, frankly, he looks like a bit of... Right, he looks like an idiot, but the thing is, listening to Perkins on the Big Picture podcast, he was interviewed last week, and he says, you know, it's botched plastic surgery, and he thought it would be interesting to do like a serial killer who's pathetic, because the whole thing's supposed to be a comment on how, you know, people are obsessed with serial killers, where at heart they're just sad, like mainly sad little men. And it's like, yeah, sure, I'd vibe with that if he didn't actually conjure Satan and you know, and was doing his dirty work. You know, like, to a very large extent, Longlegs comes out of this film a bit of a winner. All right, he doesn't get that, you know, that last one doesn't turn out. But then again, the mum and dad are still dead, and the kid's going to be traumatised for the rest of her life.
And it's nicely set up for a sequel.
Yeah, well, yeah, that as well. And but the thing is, I liked the film more before you saw like Nicolas Cage was properly revealed, like the scene in the hardware store, and then after he was dead. When he's dead, and it you know, it's because I thought that idea was batshit, and I quite liked it. The whole kind of like, he's got an accomplice because he looks like he does, so he needs someone to bring the doll into the house, and then the kind of like the possession takes hold or whatever. Like, I thought that was actually quite interesting, even though it is undercut by the fact that the kid says, "Do you want to come to my birthday party?" 20 minutes into the film, it's like, right, know where the climax of this is going to be set then.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't that taken with it. I thought Cage was just giving it too much welly in every single aspect. Like that scene where he's in the car and he's screaming like, "Mummy, Daddy!" Like the people in my audience laughed, and it was like, yeah, I get it.
Yep.
You know,
I'll be honest, I chuckled at that bit.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, like, at the end, where he says, "Hail Satan," then blows a kiss, like does a kiss to the camera, I laughed at that. And you are not supposed to laugh at that.
Nope.
You're supposed to find that really creepy. No, I'm not having it. And I'm nearly done. I remember when we talked about Skinamarink a while back, and I was like, you know, maybe it's just that new generations find things that I don't find scary. You know, and so Skinamarink to younger audiences seem to be terrifying. This, Perkins is in his 50s, if I remember correctly. So, and he says in that interview, he's trying to evoke Silence of the Lambs and Seven. It's like, yeah, cool, man, but like, to what effect? Yeah, pretty disappointed. I will say, Micah Monroe, I thought relatively innocent, but to Bex's point, yeah, she does also kind of do nothing. I can't argue that. Yeah, Mark.
It's crap. It's crap. There's nothing happens. apart from Nick Cage comes in and just does something that genuinely, if you'd have taken any of his scenes out of this and cropped them into a Funny or Die trailer, you wouldn't think they were out of place. It is just... It's Cage doing an impression of Nick Cage being Nick Cage. It's just...
Yeah, it's Nick
just
Cage
silly.
now doing an impression of
it's playing
the
up.
Nick Cage compilations that you can find on
Pantomime. It starts out as a procedural thriller that has no procedure to it.
Oh no,
So
she doesn't need procedure, babe, because she's psychic.
Well, that's it. It almost cops itself out
half
because she's a half psychic. Yeah. It cops out, so it tries to go for a Manhunter vibe at the start of it, where she lays everything out pretty much like the start of Manhunter in a room and starts going through it. But it's got none of like the intuition of how Manhunter works. It's just she might be a bit psychic, so she just puts pictures underneath things and then maybe knows shit. And she falls asleep, which is probably about indicative of the rest of the film of her acting in it. And I like Micah Monroe, but she needs to fucking wake up at some point during her movies, because this low energy thing she's doing, it's just going to be, the next one is she's just going to do the entire film from just a lying down position. It's borderline just what is going on here. Like you said there, Ian, as soon as said, "Will you come to my birthday?" in that just really weird scene where she just doesn't emote, she just kind of goes, "Yes." And
well, I think that's intentional. She's supposed to be socially awkward and a bit like whatever, but then that's not consistent. It's not explained.
Nothing's explained.
Is it meant to be because part of her is trapped in the ball in the doll's head? Who fucking knows? You could take that leap, but it doesn't guide you there.
It doesn't explain the killer. It doesn't explain the killer's motives. It doesn't explain her. It then throws in that it's this fucking satanic cult thing, but there's nothing else around that beyond it. The fact that they're going, "Oh, he's got an accomplice." The minute they say he's got an accomplice, you go, "It's the mother."
Yeah.
And what the devil really wants Micah Monroe, so because the mother won't let it have her,
she has to help out getting other ones.
Yeah, but why does it really want Micah Monroe? That's not explained.
No, none of it's explained, because it's a shoestring script that tries to get away with a style of a substance. Now, I'd agree with when you said about Maxine. Maxine's similar to that. It's not a brilliant script or story. It runs out of steam. But at least there's a style there.
Yeah,
the
it's
style,
got that CDLA vibe,
it? Whereas the style of this is just a bit just mundanity of just average, It don't even correctly explain it, but I think it's supposed to be set in the early 90s.
There's a picture of Clinton on that man's wall.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'm thinking early 90s.
Unless he's just a real big fan.
Unless he's just a real big fan of just fucking Clinton. Under desk dicking, yeah.
He's his hero.
Yeah, and then there's the weirdness of... It doesn't even... It's just, for some reason, Nick Cage's character is just really into glam. Really fucking likes T-Rex. It's got a Lou Reed Transformer poster up on his wall. Just likes glam. It's just...
The more I think about it, the worse it is.
It's...
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily needs to explain that. I don't know. It's weird because it's on the one hand, there's stuff that it doesn't explain, and then on the other, there's Alicia Witt giving a fucking exposition monologue tour de force.
Yep.
Where it's this is what happened. He put the thing in the doll, and then he got me to take the bowl into the house because I was a nun. And it just
and then later on, it re-explains that again.
Yeah.
And you're going, I am pretty sure we just saw this. It does that annoying thing that no movie should do, where for a big chunk of it, it's quite boring.
Yeah. And I mean, we're gonna talk about another film where, spoiler alert for my thoughts on it. You could argue it's boring, but there's a sense of dread to that film, and also moments that really jolt you that Longlegs doesn't have.
Yeah, it's. I did not like the fact that it just sets up a sequel at the end. It leaves itself open for a sequel. It's like, you don't know what Longlegs.
I did quite like the grewiness of him smashing his head into the table, like the way his nose just basically explodes.
Yeah,
like that was, yeah.
It's just. But I just get the feeling like there's an element of so much of this movie is just ripped off from other movies, but all of those movies are better.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it got a C+ cinema score in the US, if I remember correctly, which is bad. So, I feel like this thing is going to drop like a stone. But hey, do you know what? It costs $10 million. I'm not against like relatively low budget horror making money and whatnot. I think that's great, and I think like having this film be number 2 at the US box office is actually quite healthy for the diversity of films in cinemas. It's done all right over here as well.
So you listen to like the Big Picture podcast, with Oscar Perkins. You said he came across quite well in that, didn't you?
I really like the interview. He's super, super frank. Because
I saw a snippet of an interview with him, and I don't think it's for that. And I'm quite interested because I want to listen to that Big Picture podcast because I want to listen to him. Because I watched it with someone, and after it, I thought, man, he seems like a prick. He was going on about the fact that he doesn't really like horror movies, and that. I won't go out and watch like In a Violent Nature, and I won't be watching Maxine, and I won't be watching these because they're not the sort of thing that I want to kind of spend my time consuming. And it's a bit like, hang on a minute, then why the fuck should shut the fuck up, mate?
Fair.
Yeah. I think that's somewhat fair, but I don't know. This interview, I just thought I thought he acquitted himself quite well. He was very honest, like at one point Sean Fennessy, the host, asks like, would you do a bigger film with a bigger budget? And he's just like, yeah, because it would also be a bigger salary for me, and I've got a wife and kids, and it's like, and like Fantasy was like, wow, that's a really honest answer, and it's like, yeah, and
Oscar Perkins,
yeah. What?
I thought he was. I thought he liked the company of men. He's not. He doesn't. I've clearly got him confused with somebody else.
First.
I mean, God, unless I...
he's married.
Perkins. Yeah. Oh, he was married to her from 1999 to 2016. Oh, no, he's paying child support, baby. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's different, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, the thing is, low budget horror making money is a good thing because it means we'll get more of it. But also, I don't necessarily think that's necessarily a great thing because I think the market is getting a little bit flooded with low mid budget horror, a little bit.
Yeah. Again, I'm glad there's a bit of variety, and especially in the summer as well. But the fact that this made 22 million in its opening weekend, and First Omen did like less than 10, Immaculate did less than 10. Like that, for me, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, he's got another one. He's got one coming out starting next year.
Oh, the monkey.
The monkey, based on the Stephen King one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm shit on it. I'm sorry, it's shit.
Yeah, same.
Where are you, Bex? You seem to have dropped off on it like a motherfucker since you came out of the cinema.
Yeah, I think it is shit.
Do you? Because I think you'd been definitely not shit when you first came out of the cinema.
I think the more I think about it, I think maybe I'm kind of... Yeah, it's shit.
But actually, in saying that, by about halfway home from the cinema, and it's not a long journey, you did basically go, I think I'm more into the fact that it's a Crazy Cage than it is a
I do
film.
enjoy Crazy Cage.
Yeah. Our audience poll, definitely not shit, 71%. Touching cloth, 14%, and shit, 14%. So we are in the minority so far here. What?
It makes me sad. I was really quite hyped for that.
Well,
Maybe we just really want to watch Seven or Silence of the fucking Lambs or something again.
It will be in my disappointing at the end of the year.
it probably won't be my disappointing, but it'll be in one of my lists. Right, let's move swiftly along to another It's So Hot horror movie. So in a violent nature, I'm just going to get up the IMDb, see what that says about this. It is written and directed by Chris Nash and stars some people. Yeah, Ry Barrett and then a bunch of skin jobs. What is it about? When a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurred on by a horrific 60-year-old crime, his body is resurrected and becomes hellbent on retrieving it. I mean, that's fairly accurate. I would say, actually. Yeah, it's more accurate than their Longlegs. Yeah. Ian, in a violent nature, I'll say this. Little Johnny gets his steps in, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's closed his rings.
He fucking has, hasn't he?
Yeah, bloody right. Yeah, so look, I mean, I kind of intimated it earlier on. I was quite taken with this, actually. Slow horror is a subgenre that I'm not usually into. But I thought the concept of it was great. Just following the killer about. Sure, and the kind of the oh God, what am I trying to say? Or almost like the God's eye view of the inhumanity, and it just like there's this violence, and then there's just silence. Yeah. It's like those two girls. Like one of them's like chase me, and then 30 seconds later one of them's dead, and then a few minutes later another one of them's dead, and it's just like they're gone. Yeah, and it just like that kill in the lake.
Yeah.
It just drags her down. She comes up, screams help, drags her down. Body just comes up and starts floating. Fucking hell. So you've got that kind of just cold, detached view. And then you've got like him killing that guy and then chopping his fucking arm off in that saw thing. And yeah, man, I thought it was super effective. And in that last 10 minutes where you got that the girl and the woman in the car kind of like having that conversation, and it's like, I'm thinking, well, there's no way he's going to come back now because they've driven probably a couple of miles in at that point, and yet when she's like, gotta go, we gotta go, don't bandage me, we gotta go, I was really fucking tense. It was just like, is something actually going to happen? And it's like, well, no, of course it's not, because why would it? Even though this guy's like, risen from the ground, he can't also walk really like or run really fast. So I thought it was really interesting. I said on Letterboxd, I think, or X, or Twitter, I'll never watch it again, but maybe I will. I thought it was a really interesting bit of work.
Bex.
There was elements of it that I really enjoyed. The gore was good. That girl getting her fucking face pulled through her back was just excellent.
And then, the way it then cuts to that wide shot of just her body going down the fucking hill.
Yep.
And it again, that cold, detached element, I found it really quite disturbing. Sorry, Bex, yeah.
Yeah, so the gore was good. The straightforwardness of the killing, I thought was a really interesting choice. The bit where she's killed in the water, just the calm on the surface when you know she's like fighting for her fucking life under that water is great. That's a really good bit. The acting from everyone that spoke was shocking.
The dialogue's not great.
I'm going to go over here now. Oh, don't go too far. I will wait here. Oh, what is this? It looks like blood. Nah, sorry. I think the fact that...
Did you just take a Levi Carvalho's pudding challenge for a little bit there? I think what saves this for a large portion of the movie is the fact that you're following him around and all he's doing for most of it, like the vast majority, is walking and not having to talk. The line delivery from everyone that speaks is shit. That lady's story at the end, what the fuck was that about? I don't give a shit about your brother, mate. Fucking shut up. Alright, there was some deer. Nice. Black bear. Cool. No.
But the thing is, I wasn't even listening to that. I was just like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then nothing happens. And I'm like, yeah, correct choice.
I think it's...
No, I get it. I get it. That I feel like if you don't tune into it in the way it wants you to tune into it, then you are just going to be like, what? To a lot of this film. It grabbed me.
But the thing is, I like him just stomping through the woods, and like the fact that you're kind of looking over his shoulder for a lot of it, and looking at the people in the far ground or whatever that have no idea he's there. Like I think that's a really good. I think it makes some really good choices. I just think it could have really benefited from having a stronger, wider cast. But then I think it doesn't matter because of the choices made in the film for it to mainly be him. So I don't think it's shit because of that. I think it could have been shit had they given them more time. I hated all of them, and I was glad that every single one of them...
I do think that's intentional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, the gore is great.
The gore is good, yeah.
Love it. That when that man gets his head smashed in with a fucking rock and it's just spatters all around, and it's from above as well, so you see it properly. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I really quite liked it up until a point. The point where it stops, where you stop following him and you start following the final girl. That's when I stopped. I checked out a little bit on it.
Yeah.
But like you, Ian, I was going, so where's he going to come from? Like, where's he going to appear? But this just feels a little bit like, how's he going to get there?
But then when maybe sideshow Bob to the bottom of the car?
A little bit, yeah, something like that. But then, I thought she was going to be in like cahoots with him in this long story about the fucking bear. It wasn't actually the bear, it was Johnny, and she was like fucking Johnny's aunt or something like that. Yeah. And she was going to fucking take the girl back. I was thinking, is that going to be it?
Yeah.
Is it going to be something like that? But
Yeah,
then when
you
it
get
wasn't,
that in a lot of those kind of movies, don't you? Where
yeah. And then when it wasn't, I was a bit like, oh, that was just 10 minutes I didn't need.
so I just listened to all that story for nothing.
I really enjoyed just the walk and the way that the like Chris Nash directorially decides to fucking have that shot where it keeps on cutting, but continuing the walk. But he's on the same walk, but it cuts the scenery, so it gives the impression of he's walked a lot, like that. And just a lot of that, and then his perspective and the whole element of, like you said, the two girls, the prime example there. The only bit we get to see them is him seeing them for the first time, that little brief interaction, and then bang, they're just gone, and then nothing's ever mentioned of them again. It's very just matter of fact. Just he's not. They have nothing to do with his locket. He just happens to spot them and's like, ooh, oh wow, I'm here.
Yeah. One thing I did raise to you, though.
What?
So this has happened quite a long time ago, the original Johnny getting killed thing.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, he rose from his grave, and this all happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Would you not have taken steps to secure
Yeah,
the
build a
fire
fence,
tower?
mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you know that locket's there, and if that locket's removed, he's going to go on a murderous rampage, I feel like you'd probably padlock that shit up.
Yeah. You probably should do, yeah. They might have done, those guys did seem like pricks. Yeah. But I had a good time. I had a good time with it. I think the gore is OTT, but not like too OTT that it becomes like overtly like otherworldly or comedic. It wasn't like fucking Jason Takes Manhattan level of fucking craziness. But it was. There was an element of just him. He seems to kind of enjoy it. Listen, you know, the fact that he uses the log splitter on that guy, who it seems to be is like his brother or something like that, is just like fucking why not?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to say I'm definitely not going to say it's perfect. Like the acting is, it's not great, and that again, that last 10 minutes, I was almost just like entertained by what's going to happen, and then just entertained by, well, nothing happens because why would it? Like, he's not going to fly in and like kill her, is he? So what the fuck?
That's it. But it does feel quite tense. You do just from like horror lore, just expect something to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like it obviously it's Chris Nash, the guy who wrote and directed it, very knowing of the genre. You know, there's a part of me that kind of almost like, I'm a bit like, I appreciated it as kind of like an intellectual exercise in like making a horror film from the horror villain's perspective, or like the Jason perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and I find that quite compelling. But then at the same time, it's not one of those like films that is like, it's all about dread but nothing happens, like Skinamarink. You know, shit happens in this film.
Yep.
Like it happens. So and at a relatively decent clip. So I feel like it's got that. It's making a comment on certain things while also being one for the gore hounds.
Oh yeah.
It hits a sweet spot that's not often hit.
Yeah, it's definitely going for the goreness of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I'll stick this on around October. That's
it. It's tight as well. You know, it's 90 minutes before credits. You know, and it's. I like the fact that the you've got a good, I would say, 10 to 12 minutes before you actually specifically see anybody talking into camera.
Yeah.
And it's like, fucking hell, has this guy done like the first ASMR fucking horror movie?
Yeah, that opening's rad.
Yeah, it's
like
like it's
just
great.
those guys talking, and it's like, what the fuck's happening?
And, and the fact that the camera is just so focused for so long, like it's odd for a camera when you can hear things going on and people talking. It's odd for a camera to have something focused, and the fact that they're talking about this gold medallion, and you're looking at the screen going, "Where's the gold medallion?
Yeah.
Where's this gold locket they're going on about? Where is it? Where is it? Am I missing something?" And then the fact it starts playing on, you go, right, they're going to pan to it in a second. No, they're not. No, wait, there it is. All right, cool. And it's that, and then it takes a while for him to get out of the ground.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm just going to follow this guy around. All right, then, go on then. The more I talk about it, the more I liked it. I'm definitely not shit on it.
I think I'd give it a definitely not shit because it's interesting as a piece of work.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because it's a good film.
I get the feeling this was Chris Nash's first movie. I get the feeling we might hear that name again pretty soon for something. Yeah. He might be a bit of a one to watch because it's atmospheric as fuck and he's not trying to be flashy with it. He basically has an idea, a fun, cool idea, and then doesn't feel also the need or the ego to try and show off some other ways. Like, no, this is the idea. Let's stick to it. I'm also an FX guy, special effects guy, so I'm gonna show you a little bit of something that's a bit fun. But it's not gonna try and it doesn't try and show off at any point.
And it's just it'll be hard to forget the face through the back of the head, but at the same time it'll also be hard to forget the girl in the lake.
Yeah,
you know, like it's got those extremes there. Definitely not shit. I wish this was the film that made $22 million at the US box office this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it still did. I think it's like $5 or $6 million.
It's washed its face very well,
and I think it cost less than $1 million.
I bet.
I think it cost about. I read some. I'm not looking here. I'm not getting what it cost, but I read somewhere that Chris Nash has said that it cost around about $700,000, including the marketing they put out for it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, to be fair, the trailer for it is like, that's the film.
Yeah,
it's not like it's not Longlegs' trailer. The trailer for In a Violent Nature is that's what you're getting. Yeah,
it is. Because I remember it is because in the trailer I thought, oh, they're cutting the walking. There's going to be a lot of walking, but they're cutting it nicely for the trailer. No, that's just how it works. And I really liked that. When we just started walking, I thought, I'm fucking here for this. I'm here for him fucking just walking around.
Did you enjoy the scenery?
I enjoyed that kind of vibe of it. That, what does Jason do when he's not stabbing and slashing?
Yeah.
He's just fucking walking around watching shit, ain't he?
Or sat down playing with something.
Yeah.
I like that scene as well.
Yeah, and then gets pissed off because they kind of disturb him trying to just have a little fucking moment. He's like, fucking pricks.
Yeah.
I mean, and that guy, what a dick, just throws the car keys away for no reason. You will need the car to leave at some point, you prick.
That's a bit of a thing, though, isn't it? Like in horror movies, it does happen in more than it probably should. Like no one in real life would do that.
No.
You want the keys? Go get them. Yeah. Well, I'm good actually. I'll just probably leave it then. Oh fuck! Now I have to go get them.
Yeah. Our audience poll definitely not shit 25%, shit 50%, and Geostorm 25%.
Wow, we are not on the wavelength this week. Sorry,
it feels like we're back with the other way around.
I could see a shout for Geostorm.
I don't know on Geostorm on that one. I think it's too grim to be a Geostorm.
Nah.
Ian, what have you been watching, bud?
Yep. Only a couple for me this week because the football is a little bit like why do we bother? But all that time spent, you could be watching films, but you're watching that. But Gareth Southgate, good guy. I'm glad he's left on his own terms.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking to you about this, haven't I, Max? The whole Southgate. We'll mild tangent here. The thing is, I said to you, didn't I, Max, at the start of the tournament, no matter whether they win or lose, he is leaving a couple of days after the tournament. He's going. I don't know whether it's that it's run its course for him. I don't know whether he wants to go and be a club manager or whatever he wants to do. But my 2 cents on Gareth Southgate, based on the fact that I am not an England supporter, I think the team is actually all right. I think they're a majority. I think this is the most likeable England team there's been for a long time, with the exception of a couple of them. And getting to 2 finals is pretty fucking good. I think Gareth Southgate is a decent guy. He's a good guy, and he's been very good at being the England manager at everything apart from the football. So he's been very good at forging a team mentality and getting all of these egos and these club rivalries and squashing all that and having it be that. I think he's challenged the fans.
Yeah.
I think he could have been better with the media, but I think most managers have been a lot worse than he has. And I think he brought very much a sense of, he took shit on. He wasn't afraid to take on the abuse and the ridicule that sometimes that would happen, and he took that, I think, in quite in a really professional and almost like to the media, like, you need to calm down.
Well, I know he took grief, so the players didn't have to in a lot of cases.
He did that. However, his problem was his busy mate Steve Holland was the coach, and he's shit. So Gareth Southgate as an England manager with a better coaching team behind him, I think would have won tournaments. But
it depends if he would ever be brave enough to take off his little fucking talisman.
Well, that is another thing. There's a whole. I mean, fucking hell, I could do hours.
I mean, I'm not going to comment because I have unpopular opinions on the England team, but it's done. And Spain were the best team in the tournament.
Oh, without question, yeah.
We limped through, and we're lucky.
But at the end of the day, 2 teams got to a final. So Gareth Southgate did better than every other manager by 1. And I think that maybe people need to should have got off his back a little bit. It went from being he went from being on a Wednesday night, he was shit and he should have been sacked, he didn't know what he was doing, to literally at 5 to 8 on a Sunday night, he was an hour and a half away from getting knighted.
Yeah.
If I feel that he probably was going to go no matter what, but I do feel like the negativity that he got around the first and second rounds, or the group stage in the second round, I bet he was just like, why am I fucking bothering?
Yeah. Like, I reckon his missus will have been ringing him saying, this is why I keep telling you to just jacket him.
Yeah.
And he'll been there going, just give it another week and it'll be all right.
But, yeah, I mean, Southgate innocent. Good luck, Eddie Howe, because it'll probably be him in a few months' time after an interim manager. But,
I have a feeling it'll be Eddie Howe. I wish that man absolutely no fucking luck, just piles of fucking misery. He is a coward.
Yeah.
If you go and work for Newcastle, who are owned by the Saudis, you have to answer those questions and not say, I'm just a football manager. No, you cash the checks, you fucking prick. Don't be a fucking coward. Answer the fucking questions.
Yeah.
And actually, when the Newcastle LGBTQ Supporters Alliance asks to speak to you, don't just go, I'm just a football manager. Actually fucking cop to it, you fucking coward.
Be more Klopp.
Yep. Be more a lot of managers. A lot of managers do a lot of good within those things that you wouldn't even think of. You know, there's a lot of them out there. Eddie Howe isn't one of them. Do you know what? Do you know what I'd have in? Who would be my actual choice?
Go on.
And people will laugh at this, but this is who I would go for, and it'll never happen. And it's an English manager, because I do think that England, being as big a nation as we are, I do think we're one of the nations who really should be having an English manager for it. If you're some of the perceived smaller nations, I think you can bring in experience from outside. I think that we probably should be, in the same way as Spain will always have a Spanish manager, Germany always a German manager. It should be that. I'd be out tapping up Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
Yep. There's the myth about Sean Dyche is that he just plays park the bus football. He doesn't. He plays low budget, the same as very similar to what Atletico Madrid play. And whenever a big job comes available in the UK, people are always shouting for Diego Simeone to be their manager. It's like, have you seen them? I think he'd be a good England manager.
Yeah.
He plays counter-attacking football. Southgate tried to play counter-attacking football, and the problem was he had an immobile central striker. Game could do hours on it. And probably get a lot of hate.
Alright, football tangent over. So, I've only got a couple this week. And they run the gamut, I would say.
Ooh,
Pardon me. So, Despicable Me 4.
Fuck, did that come out?
Yeah, it came out this weekend.
Did it? Fucking hell.
Fucking rammed showing on Sunday. It took Lottie and her friend too. I mean, this is just like things that happen in the movie.
Is it Vignettes the movie?
Yeah, man. I mean, just... yeah, okay, so what? Gru captures a villain who is half man, half cockroach, voiced by Will Ferrell. The villain breaks out of prison, knows where Gru lives, so Gru and family have to relocate. And then amongst that, a minion gets stuck in a vending machine. Some other minions become mega minions and have superhero powers. Joey King voices a kid who knows who Gru really is, and so blackmails him into helping her steal a honey badger that's the mascot of a villain school. Gru's wife, voiced by Kristen Wiig, becomes a hairdresser in a scene, and then fucks things up, and then gets chased in a straight-up Terminator 2 reference, running like Robert Patrick sequence by the woman whose hair she fucked up, while dun-dun-dun-dun-dun plays in the background. Which I actually quite enjoyed, because it was just like, no kid in this audience is going to know what the fuck's going on at all here. Great, alright, fine.
But the kids will still enjoy like the action of it. But the people who do get it will really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it just, even though it was kind of frustrating, because it just does dun-dun-dun-dun-dun like 20 times and never breaks into da-da-da-da-da-da. And it was like, my brain was just going like, yeah, that's not right. Yeah, that's not right. So... And by the end, everybody has a fucking sing, because that's how all kids' films end. Not enough minions. Not nearly enough minions. The minions are the best. Them just like speaking gibberish and then occasionally French, Spanish, and Italian. I find it funny whenever a minion just offhandedly says, "Oh, ooh la la, ooh la la," and then starts gibbering again. I like the Minions. I'm looking forward to Minions 3. Not particularly looking forward to Despicable Me 5, but I mean, they're like I say, it's just things that happen in the movie Part 4.
Fair.
Yeah. So there you go. Despicable Me 4. And then I saw the TV Glow. So, there's the difference. So, Jane Schauenbaum, I believe, there. I think they are there, and if they aren't, then they're her. And I apologise because I genuinely don't know. I think they're they, though. Follow up to It's Only the End of the World, I think it was called, which I haven't seen yet. So, this is Justice Smith as... I mean, like him playing flashback is not Justice Smith, but basically, it's a kid who forms a friendship with a kid a couple of years older than him, formed around a Buffy-esque show called The Pink Opaque. Well, I say Buffy-esque, like the titles at the start of the episode have the same font as Buffy, and it's about kids dealing with supernatural shit, but heavy Buffy vibes there. So they form this friendship, and then the girl he befriends disappears, and then reappears several years later, and is like, we're in the show. Or, like, we are trapped. You think you're you, but you're actually the character who's in the show that we're watching, but we've been trapped by the big bad Mr. Melancholy, who's a giant moon face guy. So, this is a massive allegory about being trapped in a body that you feel is not actually yours, and there's just something there that's like, this isn't quite right, and I need to break out of this body and be in a different body. And this film...
Transgenderness, then.
Yeah, which is A-okay. I've got no problem with that. Mm-hmm. But when you are literally slapping me around the head with, do you get the point? Do you get the point? Do you get the point? I become a nerd to it. At the same time, I gave it a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and I almost feel like I'm actually being harsh there, because the evocation of time and place and the, being really heavily into a TV series in the 90s and that forming a part of your personality, that I found quite interesting. Massive Twin Peaks references in this all over the shop as well.
Yeah, I've read about that, because they have not kind of been backwards and forwards about the fact that there's a lot of Twin Peaks in there, because I love Twin Peaks.
There's there's a central location in the film called the Double Down, where musical artists perform, and you get a couple of sequences that are basically Twin Peaks: The Return, and where Nine Inch Nails play. And stuff like that. There's a bit where stuff is like seemingly backwards as well, and so it's Jane Schauenbach. It's obviously a child of the 90s in terms of growing up with that kind of media, and it kind of goes from tape to streaming as like a thing at the end as well, where it's like, I watched The Pink Opaque again as an adult, and it was shit. I didn't find it scary at all. And now they're streaming. You don't need VHSs. It's just it's all there and all consumable. It's like, yeah, cool. You're making loads of points. And if you key into it, and certainly if you're feeling the things that the writer-director has obviously felt in the years leading up to this film, I bet it's profound. I genuinely feel like I can't appreciate I Saw the TV Glow fully at the same time, it's like David Ehrlich, who is a cis white male and it writes for IndieWire. It's like, I think it's like his film of the year so far. You know, so I don't know. I mean, like maybe there's a part of me that's, I'm not going to say failing for that, but just not geared up to it. You know,
it just doesn't. Sometimes things just don't hit.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean to say that the message doesn't get over or the message was wrong or you don't agree with the message. Sometimes things just don't hit.
No, it's slamming you. It really, I mean, like, I kind of think of Black Klansman in the way I was like, you know, it's a sledgehammer to smash a walnut, and it's effective in that way, because that is an angry film. That's an angry film. I Saw the TV Globe is not angry, it's a very sad film. But it particularly, I swear, the arc of Justice Smith's character, he makes a decision, and then there's about a half hour, and then he makes a very similar decision, and it kind of leads to the same thing, and it's just, I get it, yeah, okay, but like I say, I mean, I'm thinking more fondly on it after the fact than I was in the moment. And I feel like maybe now I know what the film is, maybe I need to give it another go. But also maybe it is just wanging on its point a little bit. I genuinely don't know. Also, Justice Smith, Mark, I know you said on the boy chat earlier on that you like Justice Smith. He's giving Micah Monroe levels of low energy in this film.
Oh, that's not good, because usually he's got a good energy. Yeah,
no, he's almost horizontal at parts, except when he's not, and it's like, oh mate, you are fucking over egging it. There's a one scene late on that it's like, mate, calm the fuck down. What, Jesus Christ? But then again, the plot, you get it. I'd be very intrigued to see what you guys think. Very
we
intrigued.
are planning to watch it this week, actually, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Like, yeah, and I feel like if I watch it again, I'd get it. But I certainly got the point, but I didn't really get the film. So there you go. But I mean, believe me, it's not gonna be like a worst of the year kind of thing. It's certainly not a like, everybody's been overreacting to this. I could see, if this film grabs you, I could see it fucking grabbing like a vice. Nice. Honestly, like the sense of time and place, and of the, you know, like this whole thing. It's like, it's the Pink Opaque. It's like 10:30 on a Saturday night on the Young Adult Network. You know, it's like this show that was like, not for kids, not for adults, like really in that,
I think
like,
we've lost Ian a little bit there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we appear to have lost Ian a little bit there.
Okay, I am still there for the purpose, because people are going to hear both ends. I'm going to stop talking about I Saw the TV Glow now. I'm pretty much done, and we'll kick on with Mark and Becky when they're back connected.
Bex, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I decided that I was going to do the evil animatronics trifecta, but then realised that I'd watched Willy's Wonderland an awful lot and probably didn't need to necessarily do that one again, given that it's no longer on anything. And
it's on Prime, mate.
It's not. It's on Freevee. I don't want to watch adverts. It's not on Prime. But I did do the other two of the three. So I did Five Nights at Freddy's rewatch, which I remember liking, but similarly thinking wasn't great. I think since playing the game and kind of maybe understanding that side of it a little bit better, there's a lot more in-jokes than I realised when I first watched it. But at the same time, it gives it a whole story which just isn't part of the game. Which obviously it would need to do. The game is just sitting in a security office, checking cameras and closing doors occasionally. But yeah, this has got that whole kind of stuff about the sort of the possessed animatronics and the dead kids and the
Trauma.
Matthew Lillard of the situation. And I think it pads it out really well whilst keeping the tone similarly tense. And fuck, animatronics just are just inherently creepy.
Well, yeah, they're creepy at the first place.
Well, yeah. I also did the Banana Splits movie. And then had the song...
That's fantastic. Good job.
Then had the song stuck in my head for about a week. That was great times. I really like the Banana Splits movie. It's not well reviewed. It's kind of just sunk without a trace, but it's just fucking bonkers.
My God. We reviewed the Banana Splits movie.
Yeah.
Whilst on George's Stag, and Ian reviewed it from under a table.
Oh, was that the
Yep.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the footage. Yeah, it's... Do you know what? Neither of these, for me, are as good as Willy's Wonderland.
No.
But they do make a real good little set. The fact as well, I think, that obviously Five Nights at Freddy's is a horror game. Willy's Wonderland is just, it's not coming from any other IP, is it? It's just its own thing.
Yeah.
Banana Splits actually was a kids' TV show.
Yeah.
And I just think that's fucking great that they've done this with it.
Yeah.
Oh, the bit where the man gets killed in the sawing the body in half trick thing from the magician one it's just fucking grim.
Odd. It's such an odd movie.
It really is, yeah. And like I say, I think it adds a layer of what the fuck. The fact that it actually was like a well-loved kids' TV show. So that was them two. Slight cheat, because it's a TV miniseries, but it's a TV miniseries in the same way that It with Tim Curry is a TV miniseries.
Oh.
So I watched the Stephen King Bag of Bones, which seems to be really kind of shit on by everyone. And I think it's possibly because it's got Pierce Brosnan in it. Maybe everyone just thinks the same way as you.
Get shit.
But I really like Bag of Bones. It's one of the books of Stephen King's as well that doesn't get well talked about. It seems to be like he has patches where people just don't vibe with what he's putting down. He very much goes through stylistic patches with his writing. And this was like a ghosty bit. And I think Duma Key and this came out not dissimilar, not too far apart. And Duma Key seems to be the one that people like more. But yeah, Bag of Bones. It's a woman in white kind of story, basically, in the vengeful spirit of a of a woman is haunting this place and manifesting what happened to her through living people. It's got that generational shit where like she curses, all of you bad people that are doing this thing to me, all of your offspring will be visited with the same evils, blah blah blah. But it's just really well done, and Melissa George is there, which is always delightful.
Good. Yeah.
And Pierce Brosnan's fine in it. You know, I know you hate him, but he's fine in it. Bag of Bones, I really like it, and like I say, I think it's oddly lamented when people get away with a lot worse with Stephen King adaptations by virtue of the fact that they're Stephen King adaptations. So yeah, obviously also watched Maxine. I know you guys talked about it last week. Looks nice, it's a bit shit. Won't go into it too much. We discussed it
I mean,
a little bit earlier.
Did it fall off for you, or was it just like throughout you were like, oh, I'm not quite vibing with this?
I like the first section when it seems like it's going to be more kind of going with the Night Stalker storyline.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's there's a gap in the market really for a Night Stalker movie. I think it's been dealt with in TV shows probably more than movies. But yeah, and then it just doesn't really follow up on that. I think it's the fact that it scratches the surface of so many things and then just bibbles along.
Fair.
I like bibbles along. Yeah.
I use bibbles along quite a lot actually in my day to day. I feel like a lot of things are just bibbling.
Yep.
So yeah, didn't really rate it, to be honest. But it looks nice.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
I do like the kind of 70s vibe that it's got going on. That kind of 80s. Oh yeah, 80s vibe. Sorry, but yeah, that kind of like slightly degraded film quality.
The
as
video,
well.
that look.
Yeah.
Video, yeah.
You know, so from a technical point of view, I if I was asked to rate it, I would probably give it a definitely not shit, but it will probably be in my disappointments.
Fair.
So yeah, I've got another one, but that's TV, so we'll skip over that.
What was
it? Sharp Objects with Amy Adams.
Oh.
It's good. Drifts a bit.
Was it?
Could easily have been like 4 episodes, and it's like 8. But it's good, atmospheric. But yeah, so then we watched that together. I rewatched The Kid Detective again.
Again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I really like The Kid Detective. I really appreciate how it kind of starts off as this kind of like, oh, look at him. He just never really grew up.
Yeah.
And then it's like really fucking dark.
Yeah, it just gets dark.
Yeah.
It gets dark really quickly.
But there's no like, I feel like in a lesser movie there'd be a snap point where it goes dark. This gradually goes really dark. Like if you watch 10 minutes from the end after watching 10 minutes from the beginning,
you think of different movies.
Yeah, but because it's just really quite skillfully transitions down into that dark.
Brody carries it like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's really, really good. I really fucking rate The Kid Detective, as evidenced by the fact that I've watched it like a billion times. But yeah, really rate it. I think it's very, very good. So this was on Sunday actually, while I was making a breakfast bar. I watched The Kid Detective and I watched 2 Ghibli movies. So I watched Howl's Moving Castle.
Hell yeah.
Howl would absolutely 100% fucking get it.
My daughter agrees.
Yeah. Oh my god. Poor little Lottie. A little early for a sexual awakening, but yeah, Howl could get it. In any of his iterations, even the bit where he's ranting about his bad ginger hair, still works on him. Yeah, just a really good, solid fucking movie. Like there is some. I think we said after we'd watched The Boy and the Heron, there are some Ghibli movies where you watch them and you go, I can see that. I can see that why that didn't break the Western markets. But Howl's is definitely one of those that did, and it's just. I think the writer of the book is Welsh. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like obviously it's got that kind of. It's not got those cultural kind of oddities that we just don't get over here.
Yeah.
That some of the more sort of Eastern stories do have, but it's beautiful and it's just so good and it's so fucking sweet. And like, I do really enjoy the fact that obviously Miyazaki's quite involved, isn't he, with the dubs?
The dubs and he writes the subtitles as well.
Yeah. And they always pick really good cast as well for the dubs, and I think there's a care to the making of them and the translations and stuff like that you can really feel come through. And I think that it obviously helps. So I watched that, and then I watched Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which I think is one of those...
Nausicaa! I'm sorry.
Which is really underseen for me. Like, it's one of the ones that I haven't watched as much as the rest. And I'm not really sure why. It's very, very good. It's got a very strong environmental message.
Yeah.
As a lot of them do. But yeah, didn't really twig until I was... watching it. It's Patrick Stewart, isn't it? The voice is the guy,
Mm.
the paternal figure. But yeah, again, very just very, very good, very well made. It's technically not a Ghibli movie.
That's because it's not.
No, Miyazaki made it before. Oh gosh, I can't remember what studio it was. So basically, Miyazaki made it when he worked for the studio he worked for before Ghibli was formed with Takahata, and then they bought that studio, so it gets pulled under the Ghibli umbrella, but it isn't technically.
A little bit like, what's the name? Castle of Cagliostro, is it?
Yes.
Which
yeah.
technically is always called the first Ghibli, and it's actually not, 'cause it was made before it became Ghibli.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's got the Ghibli fucking fingerprints all over it, regardless of.
Miyazaki's a very visual.
Very visually recognisable. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Some of the voices in it, you're like, who's that? And then you look at it and it's like, oh yeah, of course. So Alison Lohman is Nausicaa. Patrick Stewart.
Who plays the wind?
The wind is voiceless.
Jack Black.
Uma Thurman, Shia LaBeouf, obviously Mark Hamill, because he's in like fucking tons of them, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, really, really enjoyed that. Oh, sorry about this. And then the last one I watched on my own was Wreck. So I decided that I was going to rewatch all of the Wreck movies, and have started number 2 but not finished. So I'll talk about that next week. But yeah, Wreck. I think because it's had so many sequels and because it's been aped so much, I think it's easy to forget when you're a while away from having watched it how fucking masterful it actually is. What are you smiling at?
Nothing.
You know, the use of the camera, the fact that obviously it's very much got that sort of shaky cam handheld.
Are you smiling at what Noel just said?
Yeah, I was actually.
Yeah, you are. Sorry, Bex.
That's just rude, isn't it?
It cropped up. It was what is the message? I did a quick look at it while you were talking, and what is it? It was funny.
The Edge of 17. Well done, Mark. Noel. Yeah, very good. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just very good. Yeah. I think the use of the camera, the fact that you don't really ever see the cameraman either. You only ever.
But it is a cameraman, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cameraman.
I'm saying it's a cameraman within the story as well, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. And she talks to him, but you only ever see what he's. I think you see his feet at one point when he's put the camera down. But apart from that, you just see what he's seeing holding the camera. So he is your avatar within the movie.
Yeah.
So it involves you. It really does kind of pull you in. It is a genuinely fucking scary experience. Like, I watched this the other night with the lights off with some candles lit, and I was like fucking Vern in Stand By Me when he's guarding the campsite, and just kept fucking jumping around every time I heard a noise. It was just a genuinely like brilliant experience. And like, I remember it being good, but I'd forgotten how good it is, and the fact that as well, like the utilising when the lights go out, the only light you have is from the camera, and then when that light gets smashed, the only visuals you've got is the night vision, and they can't see, obviously.
Yeah.
So you just like the bit where she's crawling towards the camera at the end, like reaching out to it, and then she just gets fucking yanked away at the end. It's like,
no,
it's just fucking great, just fucking great.
No. Didn't like it.
No, that's fair. But we were talking, weren't we, about like how there aren't many genuinely scary movies in horror. That's not necessarily what it's there for. It doesn't have to be scary to be a horror movie. This is genuinely fucking scary.
Yeah.
And that's me on my own.
Cool. We'll do the ones that we watched together. So going from one scary movie to another.
Yeah.
We watched last night. What did we watch, Becky?
We watched Muppets Haunted Mansion, didn't we?
We did watch Muppet Haunted Mansion, yes.
Is that a film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Mark had never seen
How
before.
long is it?
49 minutes.
I think it's more...
I mean, if Host is a film, that's a film, so fine. Yep, okay, yep.
I think it's probably more a Halloween special than it was intended as a standalone film.
Yeah.
But it fucking works.
You how did you sell it to me, Becky?
The main character's Pepe the King Prawn.
You said, do you fancy watching Muppets Haunted Mansion? And I was like, And I jokingly sort of said to you, expecting you to go, no, and say, well, is Pepper the King Prawn in it? And if you went, yeah, he's like one of the main characters. Like, no, he isn't. You're like, I promise you he is. I said, Specs, if we get 5 minutes into this and he's not, we're fucking turning it off. And there he fucking is, isn't he?
He's one of the two main characters.
He's one of the two main characters. Yeah. That and some other prick.
I mean, you leave Gonzo alone.
You
leave Charles Dickens alone.
None of them matter apart from Pepe the King Prawn.
He's a horny little fucker, isn't he?
He's a fucking creepy piece of shit.
Really
and I love the guy. Like, I love the fact that he's just a creep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that he just laughs whenever he walks off camera.
I think the good thing about this is, like...
It's silly.
It's really silly. But the thing is, it was only made 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And there is some modern bits, like they've got mobile phones and like all Pepe's girlfriends, when he's trying to contact them, it's all coming back saying that he's blocked and all this kind of stuff. There is bits, but it just feels like the Muppets.
Yeah. Oh, it does, yeah. It's silly. The comedy's very, like, stupid, family-friendly, broad.
Daftness, yeah.
Yeah. But then you've also got, like, at the end of it, when they get out of it, you've got Kermit asking Gonzo and Pepe a good night, and it's like Gonzo's like, yeah, I've got to stay in like a haunted mansion, and Pepe the King Prawn goes, I nearly got married. And he's there in a wedding suit for no reason.
Yeah.
Good.
It's just genuinely, if there was just a series, they should have it as a series of just Pepe the King Prawn interviewing people on the red carpet. They should just send him out there. I'd watch the shit out of that.
I would watch that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
we had fun, didn't we?
We did. We also watched a movie that I would say is less fun, but if you're taking The Wreck is a modern horror masterpiece,
Yes.
I'm taking the next movie we're about to speak about, I genuinely think is one of the best movies of the past 20 years.
Go on, then you could take the lead on this.
Biodome.
The past 30 years.
You know he thinks that.
We watched Gone Baby Gone, which I've not watched for a fair while.
Yeah.
Partially because I remember watching it and thinking it was very, very good, but also just going, do I need to bring in that much darkness and bleak humanity into my life?
Could double bill it with Mystic River.
I mean, I would say that Mystic River at points feels vaguely sunny in comparison to Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah.
It is a deeply miserable movie. So, I mean, for anybody out there who hasn't seen Gone Baby Gone, you really genuinely should see it. It's Ben Affleck's directorial debut, I believe. I'm sure it is his first film. And it stars Casey Affleck, Michelle Monaghan, Morgan Freeman, and Ed Harris. You definitely have seen this, haven't you, Ian, before I've spoiled it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you have to explain this show. We spoke about it before. And yeah, so the story is that it's about a little girl in the Boston area that gets kidnapped. Casey Affleck and his girlfriend, Michelle Monaghan, are private detectives who are hired to kind of try and find her along with the police. And then there's a whole bit of it's, she
They're
ends
essentially
up...
hired as like neighbourhood liaisons,
Yeah,
aren't they?
and then the kid ends up dead, but then you find out later on that she's not really dead. She's actually been taken by Morgan Freeman, who's the chief of police, because the kid's mother is an actual piece of shit, and it was all a big sort of setup. And then in the middle of it, you've got another missing kid case that kind of gets involved within it as part of the whole thing that's there.
Well, it's actually after, isn't it? After she's
Which that's she's
died.
but it's something that
Yeah.
it's people who are suspected of taking her, and that comes up, and it's an incredibly bleak movie.
Really bleak.
Throughout it, and then you get to the end, and it's the. I mean, I think you point out. I remember the ending. I forgot about the absolute fucking gut punch that is the last line of the movie.
Yeah.
So the whole movie's gone through, and the movie doesn't pretend. It basically shows the mother of this kid as being an absolute piece of shit, and then spoiler for a 17-year-old movie, but the fact that Casey Affleck finds that, works out that Morgan Freeman's taken her and the kid's having a good life, but then he, because of, and I've seen this because Ben Affleck's spoken about it, it's the almost the Catholic guilt element and the loyalty to the neighbourhood. It's, no, that's not right. That, whether or not it's a good mother or not, that kid needs to be with its mother. This isn't right. And so he makes completely the wrong decision. And you as an audience are supposed to be watching it going, what the fuck are you doing? Everybody involved in it is saying to, don't do this, and including the audience. And he still does it. And so you already hate him, and then he gets the gut punch moment at the last bit where he's round at her house, and the mother is just fucking off and leaving the kid so she can go on a date. And he's thought that this might have like reset her to have a maternal instinct. So he says he'll look after her. And then she sat there, the kid's just sat there playing the doll, and he turns around and goes, "Oh, is that Mirabelle?" Because the mother has gone about this doll that
on the news,
and everything like that.
This is her favourite doll, Mirabelle.
Yeah, and then the kid just goes, "Oh, Annabelle," and he realises, shit, this mum doesn't even know what her fucking kid's doll's called, and it is just the movie is literally just been punching you in the face for like 2 hours, and then at the end where you go, fucking hell, I've taken everything, this is just fucking fine, it just fucking punches you again, just to make sure. Fucking an absolute masterclass in misery, this movie.
And I think it peppers those kind of moral questions throughout the movie as well, doesn't it? Because like there's the bit where they're talking about like planting evidence and stuff like that as well.
Ed Harris, this movie comes out now. Take away the fact that Casey Affleck has his problematic elements or anything like that. Just the movie itself. This movie comes out now. It wins everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Without question. Affleck gets a Best Director. Casey Affleck gets Best Actor. Ed Harris should get a Best Supporting Actor. Should have got a Best Supporting Actor in 2007. Because he's fucking brilliant in this. The Planting Evidence speech he gives when he's supposed to be a little bit drunk and angry.
Yeah.
Is fucking brilliant. But yeah, it is. It crops up all these different moral ambiguities of life where you're agreeing with it.
Yeah.
For some reason, it doesn't seem to get. I think it's almost fallen into that category of movies that is, that is that is known as being a very good movie, but just doesn't seem to get spoken about enough.
Possibly because it's fucking miserable.
Possibly because no one wants to rewatch it because it's so fucking bleak. And in the middle of it, you've got this like almost side mission where he gets to go off and kill a guy who was literally sexually abused a kid to death.
Oh, that's horrible. I did not realise that.
What? It's Dennis Lehane, yeah.
Dennis Lehane also wrote Shutter Island and Mystic River.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, and The Drop, I believe.
Yeah, but I don't know what that is.
It's the really good Tom Hardy one. But like there's even Affleck handles that moment where he doesn't have a flinch moment whether or not he should kill this guy. He just kills him, and then he has the flinch moment afterwards. So his reaction, and that almost kicks on for the decision he has to make later on. Where he kills the guy because at the time he's like, this is the right thing to do, and he kills him. And then later on, when he's got time, he's like, well, no, I did what I thought was right there, and it wasn't. It was wrong because it was the wrong thing to do. I need to do the right thing to do now, even though it's wrong. It is. Yeah, both of them are right.
Stupid Casey Affleck giving that poor baby back to her shitty mother.
Yeah. Brilliant film.
I was shouting at the telly.
You were angry with the telly, weren't you?
Angry,
yeah. I'm going to watch 2 on my own.
Yeah.
This week. Yeah. So, it's been 25 years since one of the most important movies of the 90s was released.
Biodome.
Not Biodome, no. We'll get to that. But yeah, it's been 25-year anniversary of American Pie. So I rewatched American Pie.
As you do.
As you do, yes. I mean, I never need that many excuses to rewatch American Pie.
It's fair.
Yeah, do you know what, Sumi? I still like American Pie. It's funny. It's silly. It's stupid. It's supposed to be silly. It's supposed to be stupid. You're supposed to think they're pathetic. That's the arc, is that they realise they're being pathetic as the movie goes along. But yeah, it is fun. It is amusing. He fucks a pie. It's American Pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the more... I think the fun thing is that watching it now, when I watched it first time 25 years ago, you were the age that they were. And now you're close at the age of Eugene Levy's character supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're now at that stage of it. And it's quite fun of that. I'll hit that when you get that with movies.
One thing that I think is quite unique with this, maybe more for the time, is that, I mean, yeah, you've got the Mina Suvari and Tara Reid characters that are a little bit like pearl clutchy and awkward about the whole sex stuff as well, aren't they?
To an extent, maybe more the Tara Reid one.
But you've got like, what's her name?
Alison Hannigan.
Alison Hannigan
Who's
and
horny.
Natasha Lyonne's characters are quite sexually like
Yeah.
open about it and just like liberated about it, and like I think a lot of teen films portray boys as being these fucking horny,
Yeah.
sex obsessed, but don't really ever recognise that girls
Oh,
are sexual beings as well.
Yeah.
And so I think that's quite good from this. And I know it has its issues, and people are very much like standing back and going, that hasn't aged well. That element of it hasn't aged well. I'm not comfortable with that. You're not meant to be, but that's a different argument. But I think one thing that it does right is it does have those two characters going, nah, girls can be filthy bitches too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to sort of mention that.
Yeah. And also it does have the great face that Sean William Scott pulls when he realises he's just chugged a beer that had cum in it. No, it's not that. It's the fact that he takes a big gulp, looks at it, and then kind of gags, and then looks at the door, looks back at the drink and realises what he's just drank. And it's just... and then he has this reaction of, oh shit, and he doesn't know what to do, and he just keeps looking round. It like, that is funny. And of course, it gave us the phrase MILF.
It did. Stifler's mum.
What?
Stifler's mum.
Yeah.
I mean, it did give us all Jennifer Coolidge as well.
Yep. And then another one I rewatched is I rewatched Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Was it fun and games?
Well, we'll get into that. Yeah. So I don't think I'd seen this since the cinema. I think I might have watched it when the sequel came out. I think so, but I might not have either. I don't think I did actually. No. Do you know what? Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle is a fun movie. It still holds up as being a good time. I had a lot of fun with it. It was The Rock still when he could still take the piss out of himself, and he didn't have to be completely infallible at every moment when he's on screen. There, he can kind of be a little bit silly or show an element of vulnerability to sort of any character that he plays, whereas now it's like he has to be perfect all of the time, and he has to be just everything he does has to work, and the ego is kind of taking control a little bit. Here he is kind of poking fun at with it being the character's supposed to be like this. He's supposed to be a nerdy kid inside the body of The Rock. And so, and then you've got the added element of the character that The Rock is this fucking badass, super, what is it? But then you've got a great foil in that with Kevin Hart, who gets some great lines, like when he turns around to Nick Jonas and just with zero context, just says, "Cake makes me explode." And it's just the fact that it doesn't even get explained. Nick Jones just goes, "Oh, okay." like it's perfectly normal in that world that cake would make him explode.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a good time with that. Karen Gillan failing to be sexy whilst also managing to look really fucking sexy is quite sexy. But that was what I watched this week.
Nice.
Right, we do have some questions. I'm going to find them now. Right. I will find them. Like, there we go. There we fucking go. Oh, Dylan Black Lanterns Becky says, no new question, just the same Mark Nip for Becky to answer. So I'll find this. This is a question from last week when you couldn't be asked to join us. So I'll just find it now. The question was...
Why was I so late last week?
Traffic. You got kept back. You had to sit back behind at work, didn't you? Invent a film concept along with a cast and a title for the ultimate Mark Nip film.
Oh, fucking hell.
So you have a little think about that while I ask
me
the other
again.
question. No, I can't actually get to come off it. I have to go find it again. Invent a concept, title, and a cast and a director for the ultimate Mark Nip film. Now, other question is, inspired by absolutely nothing at all, who are your favourite movie assassins?
Ben Stiller in Zoolander.
That's a fucking good one, that one. That's a fucking good one. Fair play. Right, let's have a look. There's got to be a really good one here, isn't there? Movie assassins. Not the movie assassins.
Okay, so... Okay,
Oh, have you got your on, Bex?
I'm thinking... There's some kind of skateboarding competition that also has like a dance number. But then there's some kind of weather kerfuffle happens.
It's a skateboard disaster movie with a dance number.
Yeah, but it's
pretty
a
good.
weather disaster movie.
Weather Blaze disaster,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
Direct-
at the X Games and there's a storm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but there's a dance off. It's directed by Shane Black. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Glenn Powell.
We don't need a female in there, do we?
I mean, Mark Nip movies will fail the Bechdel test.
I was saying we don't need a female in there with
Oh
us.
no! I can do very
And
well.
they having the dance off.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
yeah. Does that do it?
One thing.
Go on.
You know the dance off in Zoolander is adjudicated by Billy Zane.
Bowie,
yeah. Can this be adjudicated by Russell Crowe?
Oh my god, yeah. So the storm has actually been caused by someone summoning like a demon.
Holy fucking shit.
And Russell Crowe, who is there just as the capacity as the dance-off adjudicator,
As Russell Crowe?
as Russell Crowe, then has to perform an exorcism
On weather.
on weather.
Whilst
pretty good, man.
Glenn Powell and Jake Gyllenhaal are just dance off skating around.
Yeah, but it turns out that Glenn Powell is he used to be an altar boy, and he's got some real Catholic guilt going on as well, because you fucking love a bit of Catholic
Do a
guilt.
little bit of
in a
Catholic
movie.
guilt. Right, alright, I have one other thing.
Go on.
Can Christian Slater resurrect his character from Gleaming the Cube
Yeah. Sure.
He's also there. So what's his character called again? Brian Kelly, yeah. Right, fucking great to be ever made this. We need to get this to happen.
Okay. Let's call Uncle Ben.
Yep. Yep. Fucking hell. I mean, John Wick for the Assassins has to be up there, doesn't he?
I didn't even hear that question. I was trying to think of...
Favourite movie Assassins? John Wick has to be up there. Trying to think of what else there is. Yeah, I'm gonna have John Wick as mine. Just I really like the John Wick movies. Do you have any Vex?
No.
Fair enough.
I've gone completely blank on movie Assassins.
Yeah. Cool. Right, Ian. What are we covering next week?
Twisters, baby.
Fucking
it's
yes.
weather.
Fucking
It's naughty weather.
Glenn Powell and weather.
Oh dear. Just need to
Naughty
get
Glen Powell weather.
4DX, baby.
My God.
Are we actually going to do
My
it?
God.
We're doing it in 4DX.
Are we going to wear some kind of body armour?
Nope. My already broken spine is going to be shaken to pieces by Glenn Powell.
Was it pre-broken just in case? You've already broken it, so it can't get any worse there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Smart.
Can't get any more pain day to day, so fuck it. Might as well enjoy it. Might as well have a good reason
Respect
for
that.
it. Right. So yeah, so we're doing that, and we're going to see if we can get to Horizon, aren't we?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're going to give it a go.
Yeah. We're going to give it a go. We're not going to fully commit to Horizon, just because it is 3 hours long.
I'm fully
Yeah.
committing to watching the rest of the Wreck movies and exploring the writings of Dennis Lehane.
Fair enough.
Well, wait.
Fair?
That's a mission.
Yeah.
I think we've got a couple of the Dennis Lehane books.
We've got Shutter Island.
I'm sure I've got another one.
You reckon?
I'm sure I've read Shutter Island, Mystic River, and
Don't pretend you can read, you silly sausage.
I can read. There's books of mine on the new bookshelf we've got.
Yeah, apart from the stupid data game one where the bookmark on that is about a quarter of the way through, have you
That's
read
more
any
than
of them?
quarter.
Not really.
I would expected goals.
Ian, listeners, everyone,
Hi.
went to the extreme trouble of finding an actual paperback copy of Fletch, which isn't readily available.
And I haven't read it
Because
yet,
it's
I know.
oop. And I found it, and I got it for Christmas, and you saved it for your holiday, you took it, it's been to Greece
Twice.
twice. And you haven't read a
Thrice.
single fucking page of it.
Thrice it's been to Greece.
Did you take it all 3 times?
Yeah, I'll take all 3 times, yeah.
This boy is useless and can't read.
I can read. Just, it would appear like recently I've only been able to read books that are about football statistics.
And then only about a quarter of them.
It's more than a quarter of that book, Mark. And I read all of expected goals.
I just feel like you're lying now.
I'm not lying, I read all of it.
No one thinks you can read, Matt. You don't have to pretend.
I've read many books.
Name
One.
one that isn't. Name one fiction book you've read that isn't American Psycho.
Shutter Island, I read that.
I don't think you did.
Fight Club. Chuck. Carrie.
Carrie was fucking years ago.
Still read it. I have read books.
School doesn't count, Mark.
What?
You're 41 years old. Books you read in school don't count.
They do. They all count. Right, so that was episode 546 of Film Bastards. I must go and read a book. Right, thank you very much, Rebecca.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much, listeners. We shall speak to you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
I go pee now.